Well, hello, hello. This is Rosa RCG Creations. How you doing? How's it going? Bringing to you today, making mini pizzas. We're going to do a variety of them. I've already got 3 cookie sheets in the oven baking. And what I've done is I went ahead and made my pizza dough. I did 8 things of pizza. That makes 8 different pizzas. But I put them all in one big one, and then I put them in a freezer bag. First I wrap it in foil back after I make my dough. I make my dough in the bread machine. I think I have a video of where I made the pizza dough before. If I do, I'll put it in the link, but I'm not for sure if I do or not. So if I do, I'll put a link to that video on how to make the pizza dough recipe. But either way it goes, I will put the recipe on how to make your own pizza dough in the description box. But you wrap the dough in foil. You put it in a freezer safe bag, and I use those recyclable bags. Okay, and it stays in the freezer until I'm ready to use it. One bag makes 2 pizzas. But like I said, I will show you closer to the video when we do the taste test. A photo of all the pizzas that I made. I've made some that are pepperoni, olive, and cheese. Some that are, mine are just plain, have the onion, pepperoni, and cheese. No olives on that one. Because I really love onions more than I love olives. And they're too little to put too much stuff on. This batch is going to be our dessert ones, which is going to be softened butter with some cinnamon sugar sprinkled on top. And so what I'm doing right now, you know what, you can't see me, I'm out of frame. Okay. Oh, I'm still out of frame. Let me get you in frame right quick here. Let me bring this down just a little bit more. Oops. Okay, you're in now. These are going to be, I've got some crushed pineapples out of a can. So some of these are going to have pineapples on top because this is going to be a dessert pizzas. They're mini pizzas. So that way when you just want 2 or 3, you just pop 2 or 3 out of the freezer, because I'm going to once I cook them, I'm going to let them totally cool. Then once they're totally cooled, I'm going to put the entire cookie sheet in the freezer and flash freeze them so they're frozen and they don't lose all the little bits and pieces. Or you can go ahead and once they've cooled, wrap on each one individually in plastic wrap, how you want to do it. I may end up doing that for the time's sake, just because it's getting late and it's time for me to go to bed because I got to go to work tomorrow. So, you know, you can flash freeze it, or you can just make them and then eat them. But I'm making these to have in the freezer because hubby and I, sometimes we just want a light little snack, but not a big heavy snack, instead of having a big old dinner meal. And we could snack on 2 or 3 of these. And no, it's not on my weight program because it's pizza dough. But you know what, it is what it is. And little ones like this, because I'm just using a regular cookie cutter that I have in my cookie cutter set. You can see how it's off a little bit. You see the shape right there? I don't care. Because you know what? It's just me. We're not taking to a party or nothing. So they don't have to look perfect. And then the leftover. Oh, there's my timer. Let me bring it right back. I'll be right back. I got to take that first set of pizzas out. Okay, we are back. And I really wish we had smell-o-vision because these smell so good and they look good, but you'll see them in a minute. So now with this last little one, I'm just going to flat this out with my hand. I'm not going to worry about rolling it. But I do, because my dough rises, I like to make them as thin as possible. Hubby likes them really thick. So of course you can do it how you want to make it. Once you make your first batch, you know how you like it. So there's one that's just hand flattened down. And that'll be right there for that one. This one's going to be my pineapple one. So I'm just going to put some pieces of pineapple over here. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to put the butter first, because you want the butter all over the whole thing. And I'm just going to, we've got some small, soft butter. And I'm just gonna, you want to be a little bit generous with the butter. You can skip the butter if you want to altogether. But remember, these are dessert. They're not a low-cal stuff. So, but it's up to you, your kitchen. You do how you want to do it. You make it how you want to make it. But this is a dessert. So I'm just going to go ahead and butter all of these. And I really want to stand in my 15 minutes. So I'm going to continue doing this for the rest of that. And then I'll bring you back. And I'll show you before I put them in the oven. Okay, we'll bring you back to that. Okay, we are back. Now I put pineapple. First I put a layer of butter over all of these. See that? And then I put the pineapple. This is, remember, take all the juice, whatever fruit that it is that you're using. Take all, let me move this up so you can see. Because this one's higher up than the one down below. Okay. And then I always have a jar of cinnamon sugar. I keep that on hand. I make it myself. And I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit. So I should have got a smaller spoon, but this is what I have to work with. So I'm just going to go with it. You don't want to sprinkle. I could just use a sieve and sprinkle it over there. But then it's going to get sugar all over everything, and I don't want to do that because I can't, because this is parchment. But I just didn't want to bother with it. I'm trying to control my cooking and my techniques. So I'm trying to show my patience to myself that I can do something like this and not make such a... I'd be wasting the product for one thing. And for the second, it'll burn and it's going to smell because the sugar, cinnamon sugar, is going to burn while the rest of it's cooking. And as you know, most people know, pizza dough rises as it bakes. So it's going to puff up, and as it puffs up, it's going to move whatever the toppings are on top. Because that's going to, oops, get this back on, just spilt. Sugar all over everything. Well, it's a good thing these are going to be dessert pizzas, because I got it all over my pastry mat. Well, another cooking show with Rosa had spillage. Someday it won't happen, but it wasn't today. Okay, I think I'm good to go. Now we're ready to do the next batch. And then let me show you. See that? So let me go get another cookie sheet. I'm going to do the rest of this dough. Put them in the oven. Once everything's done, we'll bring you back for the taste test. Okay, I forgot. We're going to show you. For those who don't know, you get your dough. You put flour all over it. I don't need too much flour because this is going to be my last batch. And then you just roll out your dough to however thickness. And if you have a pastry sheet like I do here, it tells you the measurements. So you, like if you want to do anywhere from a 5 to a 12-inch pie crust, you roll it out. But we're not using that because we're making mini pizzas. And when these are all said and done, they're going to be cooled and they're going to be in the freezer in different individual freezer bags. So that way hubby and I both know whose is what, because he don't like onions. I do. I like olives, but not near as much as him. So he gets to eat what he wants and I get to eat what I want, and he can eat whenever he wants and I can eat whenever I want. If I want to eat them all in one sitting, I can do that. It'd be a little longer. You know, I could do that. And also, this is a good way for parents to control the food intake for snack time for their children. And some adults need to have that done for them. I'm not going to mention any names because that's none of my business. But that way you get to portion control. And like me being on the weight program, I can portion myself to 1 snack a day. And that way I curb my sweet tooth appetite. Or if I'm really just really hungry, about 2 hours before bedtime, I can just have 1 snack. And these are small ones, so it's enough to curb my appetite without really messing up my weight loss plans. Okay. So then you get your cookie cutter, and then you twist it till it goes through all the dough. Whenever you get these little frayed ones on the edge, see that? That means it didn't get cut all the way through, but it ain't gonna matter. It's gonna be totally fine. But you don't want to put too much pressure because you don't want to cut this is a plastic silicone pastry sheet mat, and I don't want to cut it. This doesn't really have a blade, but there is a little bit of a blade, but not much. I mean, my parchment paper is overlapping here. I want to make sure that the dough is on parchment paper because I don't want it to stick. Because then, if it sticks, it's okay, but then I have a big mess to clean up afterwards, and I don't want to do that. So now I'm just going to lay them on my sheet. And you want to give yourself a little bit of a distance because they will swell up a little bit, and you don't want them to touch because then they'll stick together. Which, in my case, if it sticks together, that means I got to eat 2. I can't just have 1. At least mentally, that's what I'm telling myself. I'm not cheating. It was 2 melded together. It wasn't my fault. I can make myself feel better about that, but it ain't going to make a bit of difference because it's not going to help my weight loss program. And then just roll out the extra little dough and continue to roll it out and flatten it out. And you see how it's not really overly sticky because I've been working with it for so much now. And I will tell you, this is a labor of love because this is very time consuming. It's not hard. It's just very time consuming to make so many of these. Because I got 1, 2, 3, so 12 times 3, 6, 36. So I've got 36 of the pepperoni, olive, and cheese pizzas. And then I've got 12 of my onion, pepperoni, and cheese mini pizzas for me. And then I've got 12 of the pineapple ones. And then we're probably going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're probably going to get like 14 or 15 of just a plain cinnamon butter. This is this batch what I'm making right here. Just so we have a little bit of variety. And that's the only reason why I'm doing this, just to give us a little bit of variety. Nothing else. This last little piece, you don't ever want to waste any of your dough. Oh, excuse me, that was itching. And I could have just flattened it with my fingers, just like I did the one before, or I could roll it out, however you want to do it. It doesn't really matter. And because I really don't care what this looks like, what I get is what I get. And I've got plenty of room on my sheet. This is going to be a little funky one, but it's going to be a big one. Okay, so now I just want to get my butter. Let me get all my stuff out of the way here. I'm going to put some butter. I'm not going to be overly generous with the butter, but I'm just going to make sure that it's on there. Because this is where the cinnamon sugar is going to stick as it bakes. Because the butter is going to ooze over the dough. And then the cinnamon sugar will stick on top. And then they cook at 450 degrees for 10 minutes. That's all you need. And my oven lets me have one great big tray and two small ones at the same time. One of these days I was hoping to invest in and buy another oven rack, just to have an extra oven rack. So sometimes, because when I'm just doing stuff like this, like cookies or stuff like this, I can make 3 racks because there's plenty of little built-in racks in there. I just got to buy the extra metal racks. I was wanting to buy 2 more, so this way I can do a big batch of cooking. But then don't forget, if you do that, because you've got more food in your oven than normal, you're going to adjust your cooking time, so you're going to have to practice, like paste my parchment paper, but off the cookie sheet. You'll have to practice because it will adjust the cooking time because you've got more food at the same time. So you will have to adjust it probably like 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how many racks of food that you have in the oven at the same time. Okay. Now we're going to get the cinnamon sugar one. Get my little spoon. And these are just going to be plain cinnamon sugar. Nothing else is going to be in them. You know what? I'm just going to do this with my fingers. I think it's going to be a lot faster. Yeah, I can control it a little bit more. And remember, when you're doing this, because your hands are dirty, don't double dip. Get a spoon, put it in your hand, and then sprinkle it on there. That way you don't contaminate your container. And this one's going to have sugar all over the place, so it is what it is. What I was trying to avoid is happening. But oh well. It's late, I'm getting tired, and I want this to hurry up. Because don't forget, you still got to clean your pots and pans and your cookie sheets and all that when you're done here. So just once they get to cooking, you put them away, you're not done. You still got to clean up. Got to clean up my mess here. Okay, just a little bit more. You want to make sure there's plenty of cinnamon sugar in there. And then double check to see if you missed any spots, because you do really want the entire top coated. Because again, like I said, it's going to puff up and some of it may fall over and not even get on the dough itself. Okay, I think we're done. So I can pop these in the oven. We'll bring you back for the taste test. They smell so good. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. We're done. Cookie sheets are washed and cleaned. Everything's ready, but this right here, we ended up with, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trays of mini pizzas. Look at those, aren't those cute? This one kind of exploded. Let me pick it up for you. See that? The cheese really overloaded it. But it's going to be good. Nice and juicy. And then this is our pineapple. Let me move this out of the way. They're all cooled off now. Let's get this out of the way. Here are my pineapple ones. I had these on the bottom rack. And I shouldn't have done it, but they didn't fit on the top. They got burnt. My cinnamon. Only these ones here didn't get burned, so half of them are not salvageable because they're too burnt for my taste. But let's do the best part, the taste test. Oh, I did put the first batch in. I put them in regular sandwich baggies. I try to do 8 or 9 to a bag, and there's 2 that fits inside each quart bag because it's just me and hubby. So there's no sense in us doing the big entire Zip Lock Baggie. So I didn't want to mess with all that. That way, you just take out one small baggie. Since it's just going to be you eating it, because he's got his pizzas and I got mine. Trying to get all the air out, because you definitely, when you freeze, you want to get as much air out as possible out of the baggie. Oh, there's a little bit more air there. You want to, after you close it, you want to squeeze it some more. And then there you go. So I got, this is a batch of the pepperoni cheese black olive mini pizzas. This one's mine of the onion, along with this batch right here. So hubby's got 2 baggies. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5. But I'm going to get some of these. I did all this work. I should be able to enjoy some of the pizza. But let's do the best part, the taste test. Okay, I'm going to do one of my big ones. Let me bring it up to you so you can see it up close. See that? See how full it is? And let me just, see that? It did not burn on the bottom. And let's do the taste test. Mmm. You feel the crunch? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love this dough. Got my hand. Here is a pineapple one. And see how it tells you sometimes they blow up, sometimes they don't. This one's thin. Nothing happened to it. Look at these puffed up. They're not burnt on the bottom. This one really puffed up. And I lost all my filling. See how it fell all through the side? Sometimes that's what happens because it's dough. So let's just do, I'm going to do a little one. Taste test. The pineapple, my back is dying. I'm hurting. The pineapple is not burnt. It's just a little toasty. But the sprinkle of the cinnamon sugar, and you almost can't taste any butter whatsoever. Now, recommendations, this is just me. When you take these out of the freezer, just take one, whatever amount you want to take out. Take them out, lay a piece of parchment on your cookie sheet, whatever pan you're going to bake them in. Lay them all flat. Let them come to room temperature so they thaw out on their own. Or lay them on the cookie sheet and put them in the oven, 450, about 5 minutes, because all you want to do is heat them up. Okay, I would do 400, because to bake is 450, but to heat them up, because all you want to do is warm them up. You could either put them in the microwave, lay them all flat, put them in the microwave, and heat it up that way. Or if you want them extra crunchy, like I just had here, because these just came out of the oven, is lay them on just like you're doing right here, but put the oven at 400 degrees, and then you want to cook them for, I would say, 5 minutes, and then test it to see if they're warm on the hot, however you want it, on the middle, and then that would tell you they're good to go. But I'm thinking 5 minutes should be more than enough at a 400 degree oven. I wouldn't do 425 or 450 because that'd be too much heat. You might burn them because remember they're already cooked. You're just preheating them so you can eat them. Now let's do the cinnamon sugar, butter cinnamon sugar. Here's the puffy one. It got a little toasty in the bottom, but again, this was on the bottom rack. I should not have put this in the bottom rack. I should have put those pepperoni ones on the bottom rack. Oh, it's hollow. The dough hollowed out on me. And it does that from time to time. Let me get another one here. Let me get one of these burnt ones. They hollowed out, but you know what? I like crunchy, toasty stuff. So for me, that's good. Hubby won't care for this. He will like these. Okay, then I'm not burnt. But I like crunchy. And it's just enough sweetness to curb, I'm sorry, I'm just sweating. To curb my sweet tooth when I want a small snack after dinner or lunch. But anyway, this is my take on making mini pizzas. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.